In the video yesterday, we focused on your breathing to start working into expanding the rib cage in that 360 fashion so that you can start connecting that diaphragm and the pelvic floor so they're working together to help decrease the pressure system from pushing out or down. Today, I wanted to mention something to you because about this time, people start going, yeah, I'm ready to start doing the ab workout. Here's the thing. I know that this stuff is not the fun, sexy stuff to do. It's not the quick, fun things that you are thinking are going to help your belly pooch. But these are the most important things because it doesn't matter what exercises I give you. If your rib cage is flared and your breathing pattern is not correct, you will not be able to do the ab workout that I give you effectively, and you will continue to harm yourself. So we have to focus on this section. I'm sorry, I know. Trust me, I know. I struggle with this as well, which is why I'm going to be offering a 6-week program so that we can work on this together. Because I don't like to take the time to do it either. I really don't. It is a constant. It's something you constantly have to work on. You have to work on when you're sitting. You have to work on when you're standing. So today I want to talk to you about your posture, and I'm going to kind of help you walk through looking at your own body and your own posture when you're standing up. Because if you're leaning into your hips and flaring your ribs while you're standing, you're just creating more pressure forward, continuing to separate those abs, which can create the low belly pooch. Same thing with breathing. So that is what we are going to focus on at this point. Okay, so we are working on our posture. And I will tell you, our mom posture, after having children, no matter where you are within the stage of having children, I've had children 10 years ago now, and I still have mom posture. So it doesn't matter if you just had your children or they're now grown and out of the house, you may still be dealing with mom posture. So what a classic mom posture is think of sinking into your hips. This is like standing at the park, right? You sink into the hips and just kind of relax into it. So you will see that I have this sway in my back. I am jutting my hips forward and I'm kind of rounding into it. So that's one. The other one I see a lot is this one, or this one. So this is another one that we get into the habit of doing because we've been holding our children on our hip for so long that we're now in this position. And if you look at what happens to my rib cage, my pelvis is pushed this way, my rib cage is swayed this way, and you don't think that I might have some stickiness within this rib and a little bit of rib flare over here? So these are a couple of things that you need to look at your own body and determine, how do I stand? And I'm going to kind of direct you through things to focus on. Now, I understand that when we are living our everyday life, we're not constantly thinking about our posture, and that's okay. The more you can become aware of what you normally do, the more you will realize it while you're living your everyday life, and you're going to work on self-correcting. It will start to happen naturally. So, what we're going to do, first thing, if we're thinking about our feet, I always start at my feet because they are our foundation. And I have a lot of information on the feet if you are interested. I find it fascinating. Our big toe connects through our fascial line all the way up to our tongue. It also works in conjunction with the pelvic floor. So it's really some interesting information in regards to your feet. So what we're going to do is we want to work on keeping our feet straight, facing forward. Then we are going to pay attention to our hips. So my hips need to be stacked directly over top of my ankles. And if I go into that classic mom at the park posture, pushing my hips forward, where are my hips in conjunction with my ankles? They're swayed forward, right? So I've got to work on pushing my hips back. Now when I tell people to do this, what usually happens is they go like this. Well, this isn't right either. So what you have to do is you might need to hold on to something in the beginning to get comfortable with it. You're just going to work on trying to move backwards a little bit. And you might feel like you're falling backwards in the beginning because you're not comfortable there. But the more you practice it, the more comfortable it will become. From here, it's always interesting because I feel like it doesn't matter when I do my videos. When I do my videos, I deal with noise. So I need to get a microphone. I know, I'm working on that. So from here, we've got our hips stacked over our ankles. The next thing we want to look at is our shoulders. So if you place your hands down at your side, where are your thumbs facing? If the back of your hand is facing forward and your thumbs are facing in, then that immediately tells me you've got this internal rotation of the shoulder. Your thumbs should be facing forward. That's where the shoulder should sit so that those thumbs are pointing forward. So we want shoulders in line with the hips. And then we want our ears in line with the shoulders. So if I were to draw a line, I'm going to have my ear line up to my shoulder, line up to my hip, line up to my ankle. You may need to drop your chin just slightly and think about lengthening through the back of the spine to lengthen. And a lot of times when I tell people to do that, they all of a sudden feel their obliques firing on naturally. And also, when I tell people to stand back over top of their heels more, another thing they feel is, oh, I feel my glutes kind of activating. So this bottom does not have to work. This bottom has to work. So think about that when you are standing with your posture as well. The other thing is just focusing on your hips, making sure your hips aren't jutting out to one side. Yes, it's comfortable, but try to, when you're standing around, stand in this neutral position so that your hips are stacked over your heels, but then are also in alignment with one another from side to side. And same with your rib cage. We want to make sure that the ribs are, like I had mentioned, when you were laying down, they're not flaring out and they aren't gripping. So if you think about lengthening through this midsection, lengthening through that spine, that will help stack that rib cage over the pelvis. So that is your posture today to help you work on this low belly pooch.